chance to go against a different offense today. What stood out from the way the defense came through? It seemed like you guys kind of had the edge in keeping their deep passing attack from actually manifesting.
Yeah, it was fun. Obviously, a lot of rain out there today. Kind of favors the defense a little bit, but it was exciting. Obviously, I played against Joe Burrow, a lot over the years. I know how good of a quarterback he is. So anytime you get a chance to go up against him and kind of test out some of the things we're doing coverage-wise that can kind of confuse him a little bit, it's always fun. But I feel like the defense, we brought a lot of energy. Got some takeaways, got 3 turnovers, so that's always like the goal of the day to get 3 turnovers. So pretty happy with what we've done and what we did today. We'll watch the film and just get better from the stuff that we need to get better at.
Can you take us through your pick that you had?
Yeah, I mean, just kind of trying to disguise the coverage a little bit and kind of really just read the quarterback's eyes, kind of took me towards the ball. Just one of those things where you don't really think, you just kind of react, and was able to, stretch out and go get the ball, get up, go pick six. And like I said, it was fun. Like I said, the defense, we had a lot of fun today. I want to be the guy that gets a lot of turnovers for this defense. That's what brought me here for, so I want to keep that going.
Kevin, I know you got your own responsibilities in any given coverage, but playing with Jalen Johnson, does that allow you to play with a little bit more freedom, maybe take some chances the other way than you would if you didn't have such an elite corner on one side?
Yeah, I played with a lot of good corners over the years, Malcolm Butler being one. I had a guy, Logan Ryan, Dory Jackson, a lot of guys, but Jalen's definitely he's up there with the best ones I ever played with. He's a true shutdown corner, a guy that when it's a lot of different coverages, the way we're doing things, like if I see Uno on a guy, I can just leave him alone and talk to the other safety on the other side of the field, like, hey, we can maybe push the coverage because I know he's not giving up anything. So he's a special player, and I've really been enjoying playing with him so far.
In regard to the weather, it was really coming down out there for a while. Did you guys know going in that you would hang out there unless there was lightning, or what was kind of your reaction like?
Yeah, I know Coach had like contingency plan depending on how bad the weather would get if we would go to the Walter Payton. I'm always a big proponent. I don't want to be on turf at all if I can avoid it. So I kept preaching out there, like, stay out here. Let's just stay out here because grass is always better for players, and just in my opinion. But yeah, I mean, a little bit of rain don't hurt anybody.
Was that fun, like playing in the rain?
Yeah, it's cool. It was kind of like a Remember the Titans type practice, training camp deal. We was out just making jokes on the sideline, you know what I mean? It was fun.
Defenses looked pretty good throughout the entire offseason. How close do you think you guys are to just playing in week 1 already?
I'm ready to play now, honestly. I know we have a couple more preseason games to go, and always things we can get better at. But I'm more than excited, for this group and ready to go out there and put our brand of football on tape. The high level football we played so far is really to be expected on my end. Just watching us day in and day out going to work. So we just had to keep it going, make sure guys stay healthy, get everybody back. We still have a couple guys we need to get back and just keep working. But like I said, I'm excited for this group for sure.
Speaking of getting guys back, it's going to take some time for you and Jaquan to be out there together to some of the minor communication things that could be major on any given play.
Yeah, we'll see. I know he's close, but he's in meetings every day. We're still talking on the back end. He's been in this defense longer than me. So honestly, there's still some things that we're in meetings and he's helping me out with. But like you said, you do need, time together, get back out there, get the communication and everything going. But I mean, when one guy's not in there, it's another opportunity for another guy. And Elijah Hicks has been playing his behind off. I really like him. I know he was an undrafted guy a couple years ago. He has that chip on his shoulder. And you could just see it out there, whether if it's special teams or defense. And that's what I keep telling him, Jaquan, obviously he's going to come back, but every opportunity you get to come out here and go out here and show your brand of football, show your physicality. I've been enjoying watching him so far too.
You guys have talked about your goal being top 5 level defense. Where have you seen this group kind of gel throughout the course of camp? Where are you guys in that goal in terms of building up towards that?
Yeah, I mean, we're still working. At the end of the day, a goal is just a goal. It's something we're putting out there, something we're working towards. But at the end of the day, we got to go out there and prove it. And that's what we're trying to do every single day. Every team in the league is saying they want to be number one. You know what I mean? We have the talent to do it for sure. We have the work ethic to do it. It's all about going out there and proving it and doing it on game day because that's when it matters the most.
What you guys accomplished in practice, it really kind of gives you that belief in this group that you have around you.
Yeah, that's what it's about. We put it on film. Like you said, we had 3 turnovers a day against a really good quarterback, a Pro Bowl, All-Pro, quarterback. So we put it on film, and that's just the evidence that shows like this is the expectation. So like you said, going out there, having a good day, and hopefully, I know Coach said the starter's going to play on Saturday. So go out there, have many drives. We go out there and dominate, and just keep it going. That's just the expectation.
Kevin, what did you make of Caleb's preseason debut last week, and then what are you looking forward to on Saturday?
It was pretty good. Honestly, I would say it was incredible. Obviously, it was only a couple plays, couple throws here and there, but just for a rookie, looked really comfortable. A couple of his scramble throws was really good. The little screen throw he threw to Swift was really good. You don't really see that type of moxie and that type of poise from a rookie quarterback. I know it was just one game, but it was really good to see it. I'm looking forward to watching him again, on Saturday.
Kevin, as you guys spent the last month pushing him and testing him, what have you learned about his mental makeup to deal with kind of the frustrations that come with being a rookie quarterback?
Yeah, I mean, just like I said on the game day, honestly, I didn't expect him to be that comfortable. You know what I mean? Just his first time being out there. Obviously, it's a preseason game. It's regular season. Buffalo's a pretty hostile place to play, so it was pretty good to watch it. Like I said, just watching him on the sideline, just interacting with him, in the locker room, just even on the road, and just look real calm. You know what I'm saying? So that's something that you want to see out of a young quarterback. He kind of have a veteran mentality when it comes to just being relaxed, and he's kind of getting to his element. So it's something you like to see, and hopefully continue to see it.
Has there been anything about the defense throughout training camp, even back there with these, that you looked at and you said, that surprises me a little bit, or maybe it's a player, maybe it's part of the scheme, whatever it is, something that maybe has developed in a way you didn't expect?
Not really, honestly. With the amount of talent we have on defense, anything less than what we're doing would be a letdown, honestly. Obviously, you still want to be able to get out there, get more live action reps. But as far as practice, this is what's expected. We're doing training camp. We're going against, a young, still rookie quarterback, obviously very talented, but we're supposed to get after him. That's what it's supposed to look like. So like I said, we're not going in the film room looking at stuff. It's like, it doesn't surprise at all. This is what it's supposed to look like, and this is the expectation because we know just the type of team that we have as a defense. We have to be one of the ones that's playing consistently high, at a consistent high level, game in and game out.
Kevin, talk about the energy on the sideline when you see players get carted off. I know there's been injuries throughout camp, but is that kind of I guess, suck the air out of the room when that kind of happens?
Yeah, I mean, you never want to see that. No matter if it's our team or their team, it definitely takes the air out of practice a little bit, especially when it happens towards the end. It's just tough to see. It's a part of the game. It happens every year. Guys get injured. Definitely praying for those guys, man, because like you said, you just never want to see that. I mean, I'm not sure what year those guys were, but everybody's out here trying to fight and take care of their families and make the team and stuff like that. So you just kind of hate to see injuries happen. Even though you know it's a part of the game, you don't want to see it at all.
Kevin, has the transition to this defense for you been about what you expected? I mean, I don't want to just judge by the interceptions, but just
right.
You look like you fit. It looks like a good fit for you.
Yeah, man. I mean, I've played a lot of ball. I played a lot of defenses. I personally feel like I fit into any defense in this league. That's just the type of player I am and the type of confidence I have. I know, everybody wanted to talk about what happened last year and, getting traded to Philly and the circumstances there. But being in Chicago, man, definitely is just refreshing for me. Being able to get the entire offseason with a team, whether for coming from OTAs, mini camp, going to training camp. I really feel like just myself and really starting to get into a groove with the stuff that we're doing on defense and being able to make those game-changing plays and, just want to continue to bring that, into the season.
How'd the rain treat you today in practice?
I guess that was fun, yeah. I think it was the only time it rained all day, but of course it works out like that. No, it was good. I was glad we were able to stay outside instead of having to go inside just with how many guys we have out there. So glad we were able to kind of stick it out and get through the rain and kind of something different for us to practice in that we haven't been able to practice in before. So good to kind of just work through those things and get that feel in the rain. So it was good.
Cole, what have y'all been able to learn about yourselves as an offense against Buffalo, but also having the Bengals out here today that you maybe don't get to learn about yourselves and going against your own defense every single day?
Yeah, well, Buffalo runs a similar type of defense to what we got with front-wise, and with the Bengals here running with that 3 down, just to give us a different look, and we'll see plenty of 3 down teams throughout the season. So I think that's good for us up front in terms of how we're identifying things in the run game, pass game for protection purposes. So. It was a quick turnaround to Cincinnati. It's not like we do a ton of prep on them going into this week, but it's always good to see different looks and, kind of get that situated and learn from that. So you kind of get today and then, you get another day with the game on Saturday to kind of get that work in versus that 3 down front. So always good to see little different things, and obviously against different personnel is a good thing for us too.
Do you have any idea how much you might play Saturday?
I think it's about a quarter. I'm sure we'll find out here soon, but I don't know. Don't quote me on that.
When the offense does have success and Caleb like impresses in his first debut, do you guys get excited too to see what the next step looks like? What's that
Yeah.
look like?
Yeah, absolutely. It was cool to see him do his thing out there, and when those lights came on, you can see the competitive side of him really come out. So that was really cool to see, and as he's flown and as that juice is going on the field, you kind of forget that it's a preseason game, and you're just kind of having fun out there playing with them. So really cool to see, and obviously we got to continue making steps here, and we got to be able to put 6 on the board instead of field goals in those situations. But like I said, I've liked the progress we've made so far, and I still think we got a little bit of ways to go, but definitely on our way to being ready for week 1.
I know that it was such a small sample size, there was like 10 dropbacks for him, but
Yeah.
to see 3 play actions, 3 rollouts, like what did you learn about play calling and the way that
Yeah.
the game plan's going to try to play to the strengths of your quarterback and what that can do to create more explosive games?
Mhm. Yeah, well, I mean, that's just that West Coast offense coming into play, and I think it was cool to see. I don't think that's really stuff Caleb's done, in college before, under center, movement, passes, play action, stuff like that. So that's a little different for him, but I do think it plays to his strengths as a quarterback. Even the throw he had to myself on the run, and then there was a play before that to DJ that was on the move. I think those are easy ways to get him completions, but also, if he sees those things coming open deep, he can rip the ball down the field on the sideline. So he's got all those tools to run those plays like that. And, with our run game, I don't want to sleep on our run game either. I think our run game is going to be really good with the backs that we have, the offensive line that we have, and obviously the tight ends that we got. And I think we do a lot of damage with that, and it just really opens things up in the pass game as well.
Cole, that effect you mentioned, that when the lights go on, his competitive really shows. That's
Yeah.
a big part of what he's supposed to be here,
Mm-hmm.
and differentiate him from previous quarterbacks. Can you illustrate what that actually looks like, and how you see that, how you notice that? Because every quarterback likes to think he's like that, but some guys can do it and some don't.
Yeah, I think it's just, I don't even know if he notices this, but like his demeanor on the sideline, demeanor in the huddle was a little different, and just that game day juices, and you could feel his confidence in the huddle in terms of saying the play call and at the line of scrimmage. I thought his cadence was great on game day. So all those things seemed to click, and you could see him figuring out things from play to play, and I think he had some good learning lessons in the first couple of drives that we had, but also his confidence doesn't waver. He made that throw to Rome where we got the flag, and you see a lot of guys, I think, would be a little hesitant going forward after that, but he kept ripping it and kept doing his thing. So his confidence is unwavers, and that was really cool to see with the couple of drives we had.
Sorry to put you on the spot, but is that different from the previous quarterbacks you've worked with?
Yeah, he's different. Yeah, he's different. Mm-hmm, for sure.
Cole, on the 26-yarder, what did you notice in live action about your ability to kind of get open on that play, and then when you watched it back and saw the entire sequence, what was notable to you?
Yeah, just off the run game, and I think that's what plays such a big role. And when you're able to get the edge like we are, and we had a couple run plays earlier in the game where we were able to get to the edge, and the defense has got to respect those run calls then. So it looked like a man-to-man call from them, and was able to use the run fake to my advantage and just run right past the backer, and then flattened out against the safety. And I was waiting for Caleb to kind of read up to me, and usually you don't really get to that throw too often, and a throw like that, it's a special throw, and hopefully we see a lot more of those this year.
Oh, when you get out of a joint practice like this, that is a little bit more controlled, the coaches kind of can plan things out versus a preseason game where you kind of just have to go through the script. What do you get more out of the practice than the game?
Yeah, the joint practice, honestly, I think they're a little weird at times. The flow of them is a little strange, and it's a flow of a game where you get your reps, but then there's times where you're off for 15, 20 minutes waiting to go back on. So the flow's a little bit stranger than a normal practice per se, and obviously that's just with the amount of guys we have and the special teams reps that they want to get, and you got 1s, 2s, and 3s going. So it's a little bit of a different flow, but like I said earlier, I think it's good to get the different looks that you're getting against opposing defenses and getting to see different personnel. So I think there's some good things there, but yeah, it's a little bit different at times and a little bit strange, but you definitely got to find things to use to your advantage, during these joint practices.
Is there more benefit in the joint practice than maybe the preseason game because you get more out of it?
Well, I think you can control it more. Obviously, it's unfortunate a couple of guys I saw went down today, but You can, for the most part, I think you control it a little bit more than a game, obviously, because guys aren't going to the ground. So I think there's an advantage to that, and you're still able to get all those reps without, putting too many guys in jeopardy. So I think that's the good thing about them.
Cole, to that end, I know you said you just do what they tell you to do, but
Yeah.
because of the way coaches seem to value the joint practice, do you have a feel for how much you or the offense needs rep-wise as far as practice games? I mean, do you feel like you need more, or do you have any kind of feel, or do you just, when they tell you to go out there?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, when they tell me to go out there, I go out there. But I think we can benefit from more actual gameplay. I still believe there's nothing that you can do to simulate an NFL football game in a game. When you know that you can put another man to the ground on a play, it's not the same in practice. We're taking care of each other, but when you come to game time and every block you're trying to put somebody into the ground, like that's a different mentality than in a practice when you're taking care of people. So I do think you kind of need that a little bit, and I think we'll benefit from that this weekend.
Cole, the hope was there was a hope last year that you all would have a lot more production out of the two tight end sets than maybe it turned out to be.
Mm-hmm.
This year you come in, you bring another tight end. What gives you optimism that it'll be better this year? The tight end themselves, the new play caller, the new quarterback. What gives you optimism that you guys will be more productive out of the two tight end set?
Yeah, well, I think all of the above. I think obviously with the receivers we got, I think it'll open up some stuff underneath for us. Shane's had a history of using a lot of tight ends in a lot of different scenarios throughout his career, and I just honestly I think the quarterback. I think that when you got a quarterback like we got, I think that helps the situation, and he's gonna be able to dish it around and get it to a lot of different guys. So I think that always helps the situation as well.
Well, you talked about the run game not being, we can't necessarily see it, but it's coming along.
Yeah.
Talk about positive reinforcement of actually seeing those things come to fruition in the game.
Yeah, well, I mean, we knew it was looking good. I think maybe I don't think maybe you guys see that as well, just because you don't know. Hey, was he tackled there? Was he not? But when we look at it on the film, we see the holes that we're creating and the positive stuff we're seeing from the run game. So we knew it was in a good spot, and I think you saw that again this past Saturday, and hopefully you see it again this weekend as well.
Well, you know Bears fans. Some of them saw Caleb last week and they're ready to give him keys to the city. The others are too afraid to get too excited.
Yeah.
What do you tell them? What's the reality?
Well, they can have whatever reality they want. They're fans, so yeah, you can fan however you want to fan. So the main thing is obviously for us in the building to stay focused. Caleb does this every day, is staying focused and worrying about his job. But they can do whatever. They can be as hyped up as they want. They can be as fearful as whatever they want to do. They can fan out. They can fan, and we just got to go out there and produce.
Cole, this is a new offense. You have a new coordinator. You bring in a couple of high-profile receivers. One is a rookie, one a veteran. You bring in DeAndre Swift. I mean, you've played now one preseason game. You've got a couple left. How far do you think you've come to this point as an offense, and how far do you feel like you need to go before you get to week 1 against Tennessee?
Yeah, well, I think we've come a long way. I kind of started going back to OTAs in April. We were having trouble. I mean, obviously with Caleb first coming in, new to under center stuff, new to the huddle, new to the cadence thing. So those are all new, and I think we grew past that, coming out of OTAs. And then coming into camp, I think we've had our ups and downs, but I think we've been going upwards along the way. And it's not a total straight line up, but I think we've been gradually doing better and better each and every day. And we got a couple weeks until game 1. I think we're in a good spot right now, but I think we have a real chance to really take this thing to the next level over the next few weeks and get to where we really want to be going into week 1.
Camp fatigue is a real thing, and obviously, I'm sure
you said camp fatigue.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is August 15th. Yeah.
Started a week earlier. What's the key on this last stretch of preseason, this last stretch of August of recharging and keeping yourself mentally in it to get to week 1 where you want to?
Yeah, that's the toughest part of camp. Man, I especially for these rookies. I mean, it's a long year for them, just going back to the draft all the way up till now, and obviously with the early report date, like you said. So, I think now our days are going to get a little bit shorter here going forward. So, just using that time outside of the building to kind of just reset and refocus, take your mind off football when you can. Because we're going to need those batteries full when it comes to week 1.
Cole, having watched Keenan over the last month up close, what impresses you about what he does?
Yeah, I mean, just a pro's pro. You see how he comes to work every day and does what he has to do. And, it always impresses me with the receivers, and I said this about DJ. It's the plays where, I catch the ball in the flat and DJ's turning up to block a DB downfield so that I can get a few extra yards. And you see that with Keenan as well, whether he's got to insert and block a safety in a dirty run game or whatever it may be. He's willing to do those things, and you can see why he's been around the league for so long.
Well, obviously Jalen Johnson doesn't cover you very often.
Yeah.
But it seems like ball isn't coming his way very often. He's not giving up very many receptions.
Yeah, he's elite. Yeah.
I've seen him for a while. Has he taken his game to another level?
Yeah, I mean, Jalen came in with a ton of confidence, and he's the exact DB that I think you want to have on your football team. He thinks he's the best. He knows he's the best, and I think right now he's been playing really well. We see that on film every day, and I know the quarterback's talking about him quite a bit and how good he's been, and he can be really deceptive in terms of how he's using his drops and getting into coverage, and he does a really good job at all of it, and you can see his game taking off to the next level, and I know I saw the top 100 thing, so I know he's bitter about all that stuff. So.
Cole, to that end, you came in with him. You've seen
Yeah.
his personality. How do you describe the edge he has? And it seems like he's always able to find something somewhere to find.
Yeah, he's just got an ultimate belief in himself, and I think especially at that corner position, you have to have. It's such a hard position to play, and there's a lot of times where you're going to get beat, but like in your head, you got to convince yourself that it wasn't that guy that beat you; it was yourself or whatever. However he deals with that, because that's a tough position to be in, and quite frankly, the rules are kind of against you in a sense with how they call it defensive pass interference. So, but his confidence has always been sky high, and I've just seen him grow as a player, and we've both kind of grown together over the time we've been here, and pretty crazy that we're kind of the two left over from when we first got here, but it's cool to kind of be with him along that way.
Cole, we've seen you go up against two different defenses now early on in the season with the Bengals today and the Bills on last Saturday. And both times it seems like the offense has been able to be a little bit more consistent when going through the game plan and things like that. Has it been easier when you've seen these other defenses because of how tough the defense is in the building, or is it just that when the lights come on, you guys know what you got to do?
I mean, sure, maybe a little bit of both. I mean, their guys over there were raving about our defense, so I think I do think we have a really good defense, and you look at the guys that we got. I think it can be a really special crew this year from the guys that we got in the back end, and obviously when we added Montez in the middle of the year last year, what that did for our run game, and obviously what he can do, sack-wise to get to the quarterback. So, those guys are tough to go against every day, and they play really hard, and I feel like we're going against the best defense in the league every day we come out to practice, so that only benefits us.
How was it felt to be back, just back in practice and putting in the work with
Yeah, no, it feels great. It's cool being out there with the guys, getting the reps and just, building that team camaraderie.
How do you feel physically? Do you feel close to 100%?
Yeah, no, I feel good. Just taking it day by day.
Matt Eberflus referred to it as a competition at the right guard position. Do you look at it as you're competing for that job?
My mentality is to take the reps as they come, and take it day by day.
Can you take us back to, we saw you go to practice, there was that Sunday, so not this past Sunday, but the Sunday before. It looked like you went through some individual stuff and then went over to the training room. Did you feel yourself was there a setback at that point?
You said when?
It's not this past Sunday, but the Sunday before, when Flu said there was some issue that you kind of had to start back over from ground, from the baseline. What happened?
Yeah, just a little tweak. That was really it.
How has it been just navigating soft tissue stuff, where it feels like stop-start on different days? How do you battle through that?
The support system I have from the coaches, my teammates, and once again, just taking it day by day. So it's been good.
What's been your frustration level with, just not being able to be consistently in the lineup since you've been here? You come over significant free agent signing that just hasn't been able to be steadily on the field, on the practice field. What's the frustration like with that?
Definitely frustrated. But once again, support staff that's here, my teammates, stuff like that has really helped me out. I usually leave it like that.
Coach Flus rarely speaks in terms of injuries about what that could or could not mean for a starting position or player time. He did speak to that as it alluded to you. Did you hear that? Did you find any type of motivation or urgency to get back?
No, I didn't hear that. I don't really pay attention to social media.
Nate, obviously, when you signed a big contract as you did, there's heightened expectations from the outside, from fans who want to see certain things. How have you handled kind of the pressure to perform, also balancing it with the frustrations of the injuries and just the collective expectations that come in your plate here?
Yeah, I mean, my focus is just on the building, on the players and, our coaching staff and whatever they ask me to do. Like I said, I really don't pay attention to the outside world, just what's happening right in front of me in this building.
Have you felt support from the coaching staff and from the front office that, your job is safe here?
Once again, my mentality is to take it day by day. I felt support from coaching staff. I felt support from players. So it's been awesome that way.
What's your impressions been of Caleb Williams so far?
Oh, he's been awesome. Definitely gifted, leader. Everything you can ask for from a quarterback, from a starting quarterback.
Are you looking forward to this weekend? If Flute said starters are going to play, for you to have a chance to get back in at right guard with the starting line? Like, what are you hoping to take away from that?
Just to get a lot of reps. At the end of the day, it's whatever coach asks us to do, and just be available for that.
And after all you've been through in the year and a half with the Bears and something, how much of the challenge of reestablishing yourself and establishing some continuity and staying healthy, how much of that is mental at this point?
How much of it is
How
what?
much of it is mental? How much, do you need to be mentally, how important is it to be mentally strong and maintain that? Just to get to a point where you can just be in there all the time.
Yeah, I mean, just paying attention, staying active, continuing to communicate with the players. So it's really just like you said, mentally just staying engaged. That's the biggest thing.
You mentioned the support that you've received from the coaches, teammates, and your other support, like system, I guess. What does that support look like? How are they helping you?
Yeah, just be able to stay in my ear. Continue to just help guide me. Just stay positive no matter what. Like I said, I could just lean on those guys, so it's been cool.
What do you feel like you can accomplish this year individually? What do you hope to go out there and prove?
Just to show the world, the type of player I really am, especially when I'm healthy. When the mind's right, the body's good. I know I'm, a special player, so I'm just excited to showcase that.
What was the joint practice like in reps against the Bengals?
It was good today. A lot of good competition. I thought, we practiced pretty well. Got some good reps, and definitely take a lot from that and continue to learn.
How big of an achievement, just like being able to stack multiple days of practice together for you? How big of an achievement does that feel?
It's something that I've done throughout my career, so I can't really say it's an achievement. I'm just happy to be back out with the guys.
You said you feel like when your mind is right, your body's good. You're as good as anybody. Do you feel like your mind is right and your body's good right
I do. Yeah, I feel great.
Nate, there's a perception on the outside that you don't like to practice.
Mm-hmm.
Is that fair?
Not at all. Like I said, I've been in this league for a long time. I don't think I'll be able to do what I did without practicing. Stuff happens, so you just got to continue to move on.